For over 4 decades, a chilling mystery has loomed over Florence County, South Carolina. The year was 1983, and the shocking disappearance of 51-year-old Alma Lee DeFee would leave an indelible mark on this community. Join us as we delve into the perplexing case of Alma Lee DeFee, a mother of 5 whose life was abruptly interrupted on a seemingly ordinary spring day. On May 24, 1983, DeFee was working at the Irby Street Sporting Goods store when she received a call from the Palmetto Floral Shop. The florist wanted to let her know that the arrangement that she had recently ordered for a relative that was in the hospital couldn't be delivered because the relative had been discharged. Alma told the florist that she would drop by and pick up the flowers so she could just deliver them in person. Her husband, Morrill DeFee, had just picked up her car that day from the repair shop and agreed to meet her at the sporting goods store at 4:40 p.m. There was no time to waste. The flower shop closed at 5 o'clock p.m., so she quickly swapped cars with Morrill, jumped in her 1972 Chevy Impala, and turned left, heading northbound on South Irby Street. Morrill was behind her in his car and followed her for almost a mile and a half. That's when she turned left onto Elm Street to take the back way to the flower shop. The two, married for 33 years, waved at each other as she made the left-handed turn onto Elm Street. Little did they know that that would be their final interaction. By 8 o'clock p.m., Morrill realized that Alma hadn't returned home as expected. The family's immediate concern prompted them to contact the Florence County Sheriff's Office, which launched a frantic search. In the days that followed, the investigation slowly began to reveal its findings. On May 26, 1983, just 2 days after she disappeared, Alma's car was located in the back parking lot of a dental office on the 400 block of West Chevis Street, just around the corner from the florist shop. The driver's side door of the Impala was unlocked, and the interior of the vehicle appeared undisturbed. After it was located, investigators asked Alma's daughter to sit in the car as they were similar in height. According to her daughter, the seat was pushed as far back as it could go, and there was no way that Alma could have reached the pedals to drive it. Investigators canvassed the neighborhood around where the car was found to no avail. On June 1st, 1983, Alma's purse was discovered near a dumpster outside of the Big Star grocery store, which is now known as the Harris Teeter, located on West Palmetto Street. Inside the purse, Alma's identification and other personal belongings were recovered, apparently untouched. Later that same week, investigators found Alma's eyeglasses. They were being worn by a man known as a dumpster scavenger, according to the former Florence County Sheriff Billy Barnes. According to Barnes, the scavenger admitted to finding the purse in the dumpster and removing the glasses for his own personal use prior to abandoning the purse. Agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation ran forensic tests on the evidence deputies found, but nothing useful was revealed. In late June, scarcely a month after Alma's disappearance, tragedy struck the DeFee family once again. 54-year-old Morrill DeFee, who had been cleared by police in connection with his wife's disappearance, died suddenly of a heart attack. He had recently retired from his position as manager of the same store where Alma was working and had a history of heart problems. His wife's disappearance added heartbreak to a heart that was already stressed. On a Wednesday morning at a hunting property with his son Eddie and some friends, his heart simply gave out. His last moments were shrouded in the uncertainty of his beloved wife's fate. Gail McPhee Hubbard, Morrill and Alma's daughter, told the Florence Morning News in 2003, quote, "The person who killed our mom is guilty of not only one murder, but also guilty of our dad's death." After Morrill's death, the investigation continued, and on November 6, 1983, Alma's body was finally recovered near Lowthers Lake in Darlington County. Investigators noted that she was still wearing all of her jewelry, indicating that robbery was not a likely motive. An autopsy was ordered, and the medical examiner determined her cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head. Decomposition made it nearly impossible to determine a possible weapon. Despite years of dedication by investigators, the case remains unsolved. Detective Bobby Elvington, who had developed a list of suspects, continued to believe that the case could be solved through advancements in forensic science. In 2003, Elvington and former Florence County Sheriff Kenny Boone presented the case to the Viaduct Society in Philadelphia, a group of forensic experts committed to solving cold cases. Despite their efforts, decades have passed and answers remain elusive. However, there is hope. We reached out to the Florence County Sheriff's Office for any potential updates, and their willingness to share case files when retrieved from storage suggests that the search for justice continues. The legacy of Alma Lee DeFee endures through her family, now spanning multiple generations. After 40 years, they still hold on to hope for justice on behalf of their beloved mother and father. Unsolved Carolinas is a series sponsored by Bamberg Legal, dedicated to shining a spotlight on cases that have fallen off the front page and bringing hope to those seeking answers and justice. If you know someone who is missing or a victim of an unsolved homicide, please reach out to us at research@FITSNews.com. Again, that's research@FITSNews.com. Thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the truth. The more stories that we share, the more hope we can spread. Stay with us as we continue to bring you the stories that deserve and need to be heard.